we just look, this was the face on one of impact. Feet a little narrow, okay? This was the head movement back, okay? There's impact, okay? The blur of that ball now is there, okay? So there's impact. Look where your hands are there at impact, okay? So they're behind the ball there a little bit. Ideally speaking, we'd want to see them on this blue line a bit more there, okay? Now the reason why they're not able to move this way, okay? Hips move that way towards target. You could do a bit more shift. You kind of sort of straighten your leg, almost start straightening up a little bit too early there. And I think it's more of a sequencing, a timing thing. Movements are happening just a little bit at a time. Rather than that hip moving a bit more to the left and your hands being on that blue line and that hip being a bit more over there. But if the stance is quite narrow, it's hard to move your body. Too narrow stance, you don't want to move. You want to stay stable, okay? So a bit wider will help that and stop that sort of hanging back and the head dropping under and then sort of flick it. It's a bit flicky. Again, follow through with that right foot. You're a bit creasy on your trainers there, so I wouldn't say as much sort of weight come off that right foot where your lower half is there, because if it was, you'd be up on your toe kind of that way. The fact you're kind of creasing that trainer back there, as you can see, yeah? And you've got your kind of toes that way. If you're up on the toe there, the shoe's fairly straight. If you're pushing down when there's this crease in the trainer this way, it means you haven't really come off that left foot off that right foot onto that left foot enough, which gives that potential for that head to go whoop. Once you start doing that, okay, and you haven't quite it's almost like you stop the shift and leg straightens, head starts coming back, hands are stopping and the club flicks, and it's innocent. It's very, very small time in terms of how far out you are. It's hundredths of a split seconds, okay? But I think in terms of exaggerating the feeling of that hip moving more this way towards target, okay, we'll eliminate the amount that's going to go back this way. We'll stop these hands getting too far back as the club flicking and doing what it does, okay? So from the top of the backswing, hips are going to move and just keep moving a bit more left. They kind of stop here and you almost see your left heel, your left foot off the ground. Almost a jumpy off the ground there, yeah? Now, yeah, if you're Kyle Berkshire or Joe Miller doing the long driving champion, then
been watching too many
you
videos.
Crack on, mate, yeah. But they're trying to whack it 400 yards. And that's why they some that go dead straight and some just literally go all over the place. That jumping off that head flying back and that foot coming off the ground is a great power move, okay? If you're in a 7-iron, you want it in the fairway. We don't want power. Well, sorry, wrong. We don't need power, especially in your swing, okay? We want to control that club face. So having a slightly more solid left side, which will help if you move onto that left side rather than that. If this does this, the club overtakes. Gives you some extra sort of speed boost, but is it a lack of control boost, isn't it? When it's good, brilliant. When it's bad, lock your doors, keep your kids in and all sorts, okay? So it's not far away. Again, when I'm saying it is, oh my gosh, miles out. Problem is, and why it looks worse to you sometimes, you get the ball so bloody far, when it's out, it looks miles out. I mean, a 7-iron going 40 yards offline, like, bloody hell. But in reality, that's a lot of guys almost 3-woods. I mean, you're in a 7 almost 200 yards. So if it's going 40 yards offline, yes, it's a long way offline, but people are in a lot longer clubs to get that same distance. If you get a 3-wood 40 yards offline, well, that's not too bad. But it's a 7-iron, it just seems a lot worse. But the ball, you're not hitting a 7-iron as a 7-iron should be hit kind of thing in terms of the distance, yeah? You're definitely that sort of top echelon. So a bit extra space from the ball. Hands have therefore got to work more around. If they get too close, they tend to want to go out. Better, they'll tend to work round. Okay, mate? Good stuff. Right, have a couple more in a bit.